Hello, I'm Yvette Jacobs-Lee and I'm a tax partner in our family business group. I'm here today to talk to you about the budget and some of the key takeaways for our family business clients and contacts. There's obviously been a lot of talk about the budget in the press, and there have been a lot of clients on the phone speculating what there might be in the budget. But now we've had the announcements, we've seen the detail, and we've distilled it down for you in terms of what the key takeaways are for our family business clients. So first of all, I'd like to talk about cash extraction, and you will have seen in the headlines that we've got a 2% tax increase on income tax for people taking investment income. So this will affect anybody who has dividend, property or savings income, but perhaps the most relevant for the family business client is dividends. Lots of people use dividends as a way to extract cash from the company, especially family companies. And for basic and higher rate taxpayers, we're going to have a 2% tax rise on the rate of dividend taxation coming in from the 6th of April 26. So there is a window now for people who pay tax at the basic or higher rate to take a few more dividends, and indeed the government are expecting there to be a big tax take as people rush to do that before the 6th of April. But even after the 6th of April, dividends are still going to be a very efficient way for basic and higher rate taxpayers to take money from the family company, but we do have a slight narrowing of the gap between salary and dividends in terms of the effective tax rates. For additional rate taxpayers paying tax at those top rates, the dividend rate of tax isn't going to change. So we're sticking at the 39.35%. And for clients in that tax bracket, it's actually more efficient to take salary if you're looking to draw a bonus from the family company. And again, that won't change from the 6th of April. So cash extraction, always a hot topic. Also a hot topic with clients is succession. And of course, we had in the budget in 2024, last year, a change to the way that business relief from inheritance tax is going to apply for clients. So still at the moment, up until the 5th of April next year, we have an unlimited exemption from inheritance tax for passing on the trading family company. And that means you can pass on any value without an inheritance tax charge. But from the 6th of April, we have a new £1 million allowance per individual. And for anyone that has a family business worth more than £1 million, the inheritance tax rate is going to be half of the main rate, so currently 20% for value above £1 million that you're passing on to the next generation. So, slight new announcement yesterday, which came out of the consultation with interested stakeholders earlier this year, is that £1 million allowance is going to be transferable between spouses. So that's going to be good news for lots of clients and lots of family businesses. But for some, we're still going to need to do a bit of planning to make sure that you can benefit from that transferable allowance. So take the example of a business owned by dad who plans to pass the shares on to his children when he dies. If he dies first, then there'll be no transferable allowance for mum to take advantage of. So we do need to do a bit of planning first to make sure the shares are held as they need to be amongst the family in order that we can benefit from allowances. So still something to think about there. And we do have time. So for anybody who's not thought about how these changes to business relief impact them and their family business, please let's think about that before the 5th of April to make sure your family business is in the best position. Another announcement yesterday, which may affect family businesses that were thinking about an exit, is a change to employee share ownership trusts. So previously, you were able to transfer shares in your qualifying company into an employee share ownership trust and realise a tax-free capital gain, which is a great opportunity for family business owners to perhaps pass a business on when they don't have an obvious successor in the family who wants to take on the business, and indeed very tax efficient to be able to realise a gain and not pay any tax. But from yesterday, from the 26th of November, New announcements mean that only 50% of that capital gain is going to be exempt. And the new legislation provides that business asset disposal relief or investors relief, which attract this reduced rate of capital gains tax, they're not going to be available. So the other 50% of the gain not covered by the exemption is going to be chargeable. Now there is an option or an opportunity to hold over that gain, to pass it to the trustees of the new employee ownership trust. But I mean, this could be a hefty gain for lots of companies and something that's going to be difficult for the trustees to fund in the future when they dispose of those shares. So I think this is going to make this route very much less attractive to clients. And if it was one that you were thinking about, then maybe you need to consider alternatives for how those shares are going to pass on in the future. So if there's anything that I've touched on in this video today or that's caught your eye in the budget, please do reach out and I'd be delighted to chat with you about it more.